But Kraft's cheese has good flavor to me.
Oh, that is a flavor. I don't know if I constitute it as good. It definitely has a flavor.
Or cheese.
Yeah, or cheese for.
God, that was so off.
Effect. Today's episode of JARdon the Mess is brought to you by Dynamic Fitness Supply, your one-stop shop for fitness needs. We've got treadmills.
And
we've got rowers.
And
we've got lots more. We've got free weights and all. You can find us on 4th Street in Santa Rosa. That's 1414 4th Street, Suite 102. Give us a call in the store, 707-536-9077. Mention JARdon the Mess for 15-20% off, depending on the product. Come buy shit.
You know what JARdon the Mess does not have? Synchronization.
What?
Yeah. Speaking of, hold on.
Speaking of, don't mind me. I'm eating some cereal while we do this.
Nice.
Bert, I am sorry I didn't hit you up on Saturday.
Sorry,
I ended up sleeping way too late.
Yeah, no worries. I was kind of like out of it since I was sick, but I was up. I was prepared. I could have texted you and been like, no, because I could have texted you and been like, hey, are we still doing this? But I was like, I'm just gonna wait for Dalton to respond. But I do have a Battle Brothers story, which is I have all the different like starting like scenarios, and we chose like the gladiator one for the game that we're playing. For fun, I started a new game and I was playing as the Raiders. So they're like, you start off with like 4 dudes, and half the map hates you, right? Because you're like barbarians from the north. So like you cannot, like almost half of the cities are now, you cannot visit them. But you can now raid all those cities and kill their caravans for shit. And you have like a general perk, which is you have like a 20% chance that any items that like you 25 or 20% higher chance of recovering items from the battlefield than you normally wouldn't. So like in the game, like you see these dudes with like really cool armor, you kill them, but then you can't get that armor because you've destroyed it. Like they can just find it. So like I'm just like going now, and like the whole game is just like you stay in like your safe little zone, and then you run out and you just murk dudes, steal all their shit, run back, repair it, sell it, run back out, murk dudes, take all their shit, and run back. Dude, it's like, but like half the map hates you. So it's like so much fun to be like, but just playing completely different, where I'm like, they'll just be like a caravan of peasants, but like they don't have anything cool. But I'm like, I could earn some XP. So I'm just like slaughtering all these people, taking all their shit and selling it, dude. It's so much fun. So I'm still liking our gladiator campaign, but God, that game is so much fun, man.
It is. I like that there's like you're able to do stuff like that so it doesn't become too stale.
Yep.
Did you download it yet, Randy?
Oh,
no, he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to download
more on it. No, dude, it was like fucking $30. Like,
no, it's $30 and it's single player, so you don't need it.
It's hard. It's hard.
You
just need to find time for you to play with us.
Yeah,
because I've hacked it so that we can all play, and it's super fun. But we'll figure it out.
I just thought about when we were playing Halo yesterday. We're like, oh, this game could have been so much better. And then I keep thinking about, I'm like, how many times I'm like, yeah, well, I kind of like this thing. Yeah, well, I kind of like this thing. Yeah, well, I kind of like this thing. But it's like it's interesting being able to actually just bounce the thought off somebody else versus just like, I'm in my own head. Just it's enjoyable to an extent. But
can I
co-op?
I mean, like as soon as we got to the open world map, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much fun this is, and how like it actually is a really well designed concept of just like, here's this big old map, explore it, and like because that's what I loved about ODST when you were in like the city, and you could just explore the whole city and do all and like unlock weapons caches and do all that stuff. So it's actually like really, really fun. But the fact that like we were talking about this, it's like a year and a half after we're finally getting co-op. And as soon as we got to the open world though, it was kind of laggy that I'm like, fuck,
dude,
man.
that was odd. And I don't know if this is fast internet or not, but like, dude, I'm running like 80 megs.
Yeah,
Bro. Like, it should be like, why did it like jump? Like, I was like, I'm like, man, it's my shit. I'm like, no, it can't be.
Not. No, I think it's issues with the software.
Like because, they still like, how could you not perfect this
yet? I know you took that long, and then it's still like that's my point. When sorry, because I want to guess in what you're saying, which is I was seeing the same thing too when we left off. When we signed off, I was like, man, that was so much fun. I actually like really like this game, except for like the shittiness that they've applied to it. We're like, there's a point, Dalton, we're playing co-op. I don't know if you played Infinite yet, but you have like this grapple hook thing. And so like I'm like running ahead and Randy just like grapples onto me to like move farther up to the map. And it's just fun. Like there's this cool shit where we're like, okay, we gotta go up there. And we're like doing all this. There's so much fun actually to be had that's just muddied in all of these like technical issues that I'm like, why you waited a year and a half to finally give us co-op and you couldn't even perfect it. Like that's the part that's like so frustrating because deep down I was like, man, I actually really like this game, except for the fact that it's so shitty at points.
Yeah.
Are you able to, do you know if you're able to do the more than 2 people?
Dude, you can do 12 people.
Yeah. I think you can I think it's at 4.
Or 4, but like, man,
still,
you just invite a lot. Like,
yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I'll have to re-download it then.
Or how can I get out of the warthog?
Dude, that was the other thing. God damn, dude. We finally got an award. Sorry, Dalton. We finally got an warthog. And we were kind of getting to the point where like, all right, let's take out this one more outpost and then we'll like call it a night. And which is fun. It's just fun to think about that, to be like, all right, cool. Just one more outpost. And like we're driving there and the warthog's like on fire, but not in that critical red where it's like beep, 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 beep. And so like we get there and we're taking shots and we're like, dude, how the fuck do we get out? And we're just like swapping seats, but like no, and I'm just like chucking grenades, pushing like every button, but couldn't fucking get out of it. And then like we got out of it and we're like, wait, what did we push? I was like, oh, it was A. He's like, no, it wasn't. Then we like all jump back in and pushing the same button that we thought we got out with and we couldn't. So now we're doing the exact same thing again, just swapping seats and like chucking grenades and like reloading, but there was no.
It's like so driver's seat is a different button, passenger's a different button. It was. I don't know what the fuck, like if that's a glitch or what, but
it was really
God damn, dude. Like,
you're stuck forever. I was getting
annoyed, frustrated because I'm like, bro, I'm wasting grenades here.
Yeah.
Also, it was legendary. I thought we were doing good.
I thought we were murking people pretty hard, and then we got to like the one boss, and I was like, okay, this is cool because this means that we need to like when we're playing like on like now these other things, we have to be a little bit more tactical with it. But like they did the smart stuff where it was like you would die and you just respawn with whatever weapons and ammo you had when you died. I was like, hey, that's a little feature, but it's actually kind of cool. It's a good quality of life, right?
Yes.
So there's like some things that are really cool, but then there'd be times where I'm like, dude, like when the ship was exploding and you were in front, right? You were in the lead. I don't know if you saw it because you were in the lead. But like they designed that level for single player. So what I mean by that is like all of the events, like when you were just a little bit far ahead, and then like as soon as you went in, it was like, but I was like behind, so I'm like, fuck, and I had to like jump over it and stuff. So you were like triggering all these like, and I was just like leapfrogging over it because it wasn't timed.
It's like more pressure.
Yeah, it was funny though, dude. It was great. I had a good time.
For me.
But at the same point, I'm like, man, dude.
Yeah, be cool. Hey, Dalton, we'll just update it. It's only like 40 gigs update. Like,
that's it. That's nothing.
It's just like it's like half a game. But
yeah, I hadn't played in a while, so it was like an 89 gig update.
Oh yeah, I have to re-download the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had to uninstall. I uninstalled some stuff. It was like it was time. It's hard for me to uninstall stuff that I paid for.
Yeah.
I don't think I did, but it's like, do I really?
I have this weird thing where it's like, I'm the same. Like I have a bunch of stuff on Steam that I bought, or even like Game Pass that, let's be real, I'm not playing, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play it eventually, and I never play it, and it just takes up space in my hard drive.
Yeah. This terabyte went by really fast.
Dude, tell me about it. DCS, that game I played, the Flight Combat Simulator. I'm up to like 300 plus gigs on it.
Dude,
Wow.
Dude, flights, basic Microsoft Flight Simulator is like 150 gigs, bro. It's like crazy. But
what's
like,
so funny is, so I have my Switch. I've been playing my Switch because I just been sick, and then also just like when I get home, I get all my stuff done. I'm just like in my bed playing it. And I've been playing through the South Park games. I went through Stick of Truth. I just finished Fractured Butthole yesterday.
The best name.
And it was like, yeah, I had to uninstall everything off the Switch because I did a digital download of Fractured Buttholes, and it was like 26 gigs or whatever like that. And I was just like, this is like the only game you can have on your Switch if you wanted to play it. And thankfully I was like, all right, whatever. So I was uninstalling things, and then I beat it, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. I bought Red Dead Redemption on Switch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, I'm probably gonna have to uninstall Fractured Butthole because like there's no way that they've compressed 2 games into the single Switch card. And I just put it in and I was able to play. And I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy to me to think about, like some of the optimization that goes into like some games where like, hey, took this entire Xbox 360 game and we put it onto the Switch card. But then like that Halo update for like co-op was like 40 gigs. So I'm sitting there being like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Especially,
I want to try Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, it's so
you haven't played it yet before?
I've never played it. Like,
oh my god, dude.
I thought about just going straight to the second one.
You could. The second one is technically a prequel.
Yeah.
So if you played the second one, you're actually getting all of the events beforehand.
Yeah.
So you could. I just really liked Redemption because I just really like the character. And
are you about the second one?
No, the first one. I like
the first
John
one.
Marson. Yeah. And like I'm just playing through it again, and I'm just like riding my horse, and I'm just like chilling, and I'm just like doing stuff, and then like as I'm riding along,
world, right?
Huh?
Massive open world.
Yeah, it's pretty big. The second one I think is huge.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling around in my horse, and like it's like GTA but the Wild West, right?
Yeah, that's what it was, a Rockstar game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like let's just take GTA platform, put Wild West.
Yeah, and it works.
Same mechanics
so
and everything.
I'm just like riding, and all of a sudden there's like there's just random events that happen. So there'd be like as I'm just riding, I hear like gunfire, and then I'm like on the edge and I look over, and there's just like these dudes in a shootout with like a prospector, and I was like, all right. And I kill all the bandits. The guy's like, oh, here you go, here's this treasure map, and I go, yeah, all right, fine. And it was just random, as I was walking by. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun. It's just a cool game to chill out to.
Yeah,
there's so much to do. I don't quite remember. Like, I remember playing the first one. I don't remember if there's a lot to do in it like there was the second one. But the second one, there's a ton of like challenges and shit. It's like get like a legendary
for that game.
palette. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can hunt like a bunch of different things. You can try to catch all of like the fish, but you have to get like legendary fish. There's just a lot to do in it, and it looks really good graphically. It's fucking beautiful. Just a lot of fun. I definitely recommend to play it.
So, you got a topic, Bert?
Did I have so many?
I don't think I mentioned any since the last time we recorded. So,
all right, I'm gonna throw this one at y'all, which is
Rome.
Yeah, let's hit that one first. That wasn't what I was gonna go to.
Sorry, I distracted you.
No. Yeah, so Dalton, you've been watching Rome, and you finished season 1.
I finished season 1. I'm not gonna lie, like I had to push through the first, I don't know, few episodes, but it like increasingly it starts getting like you more into it and more into it. More better. What was it that drew me in? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Fuck, I gotta think about it.
Vagina shown in the first episode.
A lot of
it doesn't go as like hard as Game of Thrones though. But it is funny that you said that. Like a lot of people in Game of Thrones are in that show, and now I like I just kept seeing people and people over.
Yeah.
And then that kid that played in Master and Commander that got his hand cut off or amputated, he's the son.
Yeah.
For the chick. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really good. I guess it wasn't what I expected.
What were you expecting?
I guess I was expecting more like fighting.
Yeah.
Until we talked about it and everything, I wasn't expecting it so political. But that's okay. I'm for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
my biggest complaint is the fight scenes are just like non-existent. They're not even there. They'll like cut to a battle, you'll see some blurry footage, and then it's just like, oh, we won. And you're like, really though? But I really like the politics, I really like the characters, and I'm a history buff, so I'm like, oh man, I love all this. But you were surprised. You said you should have seen some stuff coming.
I don't want to. I mean, it's Randy. Are you gonna watch it?
No.
Okay. So at the end of season 1, they all turn on Caesar, right? And Caesar,
Yeah.
and they just stab the hell out of him. Caesar salad.
The Mr. Caesar salad.
Mr. Caesar
It's
salad.
just like the first Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that one dude, oh, I can't think of his name. My memory's so bad. But he ends up turning on him. Like he wasn't going to, yeah. And then Caesar was like, I want you to go over here for like a year.
Just chill out. Yeah.
He was so upset.
Yeah.
And then he ends up finally turning on him again.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
And then they all stab the fuck out of him. And that's why I guess like I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. Enjoyed it. I feel bad for what's his name? We were talking about it. The dude,
Pulo?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's going back up for him, but for a minute, like his life was
so
pretty
dark.
shit.
It's so dark.
He ended up. So there's a slave chick that his best friend guy or whatever, again I don't know the name, owned, or no, Titus didn't own her, right? The other guy did.
Yeah.
So the other guy owned this chick. Titus ended up falling in love with her, and I don't ever remember her showing any sort of like affection back to him at all.
Yeah.
She was just being nice because she's a slave. Yeah. So anyways, he ends up like asking his buddy to free her, and so he can marry her, gets this dress for her and shit and everything. So he agrees, she gets freed. He goes back to the house and he's like, I freed you, here's this dress. And she goes to try it on, and he's about to ask her to marry her. And this other guy comes up. He's like, thank you for freeing us. Now we can get married and all this shit. And so this guy, Titus, gets like all pissed off and just goes into a rage and kills this dude, just slams his head into a pole or something, or a rock or whatever it was, and just murders the fuck out of him.
Murders the fuck out of him, yeah.
And then this chick comes back and sees her husband, or to be husband, all like fucked up and dead. And so and then she obviously was upset with Titus, and then his friend dude that he lived with and freed her was also upset and like kicked him out and shit. And
it's like you did this in my home where my kids live. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
For no reason, because you were pissed off. And then his life goes down to shitter, and all this. But at the end of season 1, it started to go up, and it seemed like she was starting to forgive him. Yeah. Which is cool. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, he only murdered his husband.
At that point in the game, in that era, like, what are you gonna do if you're a woman? You got like no rights. Like, and I'm a slave.
She's free, and like the chick that used to own her, she was like gonna murder Titus because Titus got injured, came back to them, they're nursing him, and this chick was gonna murder him. She like went in there at night with a knife, and she was about to slit his throat. And then the chick that used to own the slave came in, and she's like, what are you doing? She's like, where are you gonna go? You have nowhere to go, you're stuck here. Even though you're not a slave anymore, she's like, you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
But it was good. I liked it. I'm gonna start season 2 probably tonight.
Yeah, it's good. It's season 2 gets a little wild. Yeah, it's just good. And like it's crazy because it's like you're watching something, like granted they take a lot of creative liberties with some of it, but like the Megan historical beats are like accurate. So like the fact that you're sitting here watching like some of this, like you're seeing not just something that's completely fictitious. You're watching something that like is at least somewhat based in reality. It's like
Right.
gnarly. It's like crazy to me.
Did you guys finish Barbarians?
2, yeah.
Season 2?
2, not yet. No.
Yeah, we can hold off on that. Yeah. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really.
It took me a minute though to be like, who the fuck are these people again?
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Like I don't like. I'm really bad at not seeing something for a while, regardless of what it is. I'm like, I don't need to watch the first season or second or third. I'll just go through this 10-minute recap and just kind of pick it up as like, oh yeah. I will say all the guys got jacked. No, like everybody got juiced up for season 2.
Yeah.
But just briefly though, correct me if I'm wrong. It's I know it's a German show, but it's German versus Rome, right? This is like pre-Germany.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So they're like the Hermania, Yeah. Like why do they keep saying that? Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I should be paying attention.
Yeah, it's like
but so now like okay.
It's the German tribes, basically, versus Rome. And like
they really make you just hate Rome.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Like, assholes.
Damn. I will say the season finale was pretty good. Like, not
the battle is
predictable, pretty cool. I would say, but the last 5 minutes was really good. I was like, oh god, thank you, finally.
Yeah.
Well, this fucking sucks.
Which is there's so much history stuff I want to nerd out on, but I won't because I don't know if it's a spoiler for season 3.
Hopefully they don't take like 3 years to make a season.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like actually season 2 came out in 22, so I know I recall now when you guys spoke about it, I just didn't watch it. And then I started watching, like, there's only 6 episodes? Fucking lame.
Yeah.
Why can't they go back to like 20 episodes and just have like mediocre writing? Like just nerd out on it. What else you got?
Speaking about mediocre, I have this interesting question for you. Not food related, not TV related, not video game related, life related.
Ooh.
I was thinking about this the other day. What is something that you own that you probably should throw away, but like you don't, right? Like, and I'll give you an example, right? Where like there's a certain point where you're like, cool, there's like probably a reasonable shelf life to this, but like I just keep pushing this a little bit longer because why not, right? In my case, I was thinking about this the other day when I was like doing my laundry, and I was like, oh man, like underwear. When is the right time to like throw away underwear, right? Like there's the obvious. I'm not saying this happens to me regularly or at all, but like there's a certain point where like something catastrophic happens where you're like, cool, if you shit your pants and your underwear is like just full of shit, you throw that thing away. You're not trying to save that, right? Like you don't care so much about something that you'll go to like extreme lengths to like preserve it. But at the same point, under like normal circumstances, you'll just keep going with something. And then like, what's the natural point to like throw it away? So like for me, it's clothes, right? I won't specifically say underwear, but like underwear's with it, right? Like you get to the point where like, okay, there's all these holes in it. But I'm like, yeah, it still works. It's still got a waistband. Like it's still functional, right? Or like a t-shirt. I have like comfy t-shirts, but it's just like this giant hole down like the right side where I'm like, I finally get to the point where I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't wear this out in public anymore. And then I go, oh, well, I'll just wear it in my house. And then I'll still keep wearing it. So there's like a certain point where, and I have a closet full of shirts. So throwing that shirt away or throwing that piece of underwear or socks away that have holes in it isn't going to like break my bank. Like I should be able to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that I own where like there is no like natural expiration date in it in my mind. And so I just keep pushing it to the point where I go, oh, I guess I can't use this anymore. And like then I eventually, I guess, throw it away because of like necessity. Does that make sense? Or is this just all kind of rambly?
No,
That
no.
makes sense.
I don't know if I told you guys, but like a year and a half ago, I went through when I was still at the store or at the store before I got hired at Walgreens, and then fuck Walgreens. That's a story too. Another one. Um, dude, I was watching so much fucking Hoarders. Like, I watched like I don't know how many episodes of Hoarders that I watched. Like, that's fucking crazy. Just watching it in awe, knowing that part of my family is like a hoarder. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, it really does become clothes. Clothes is like one of those things that you can always just hold on to. I have my closet full of clothes, and I have shirts hanging up. I've got some dress pants. I maybe have a pair of pants hanging up. I only wear one pair of pants, and I literally have two of the same pair of pants because I will always wear these pair of pants.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, he doesn't wash shit. No, I've literally got two pairs. like so. Yeah. And then this is just being a guy. 30% of the clothes that are like, bro, 20% of the clothes that are hanging up might get actually interchanged. The rest of the actual clothes that I wear are clean in the basket on the floor of my closet. Oh. And I just go into the basket. I'm like, all right, there's a shirt, there's a shirt. And then until I feel like, oh, I'm going to go do something different. Like maybe I'll throw on my Andor shirt. I've worn that like 5 times my whole life. I've worn like this shirt like 5 times, but they're new, they're crisp.
Yeah.
But let's just say all these clothes that are in my closet are from the past like 8 years. Let's go back to the middle room. Whereas now like Tanya's room for all her clothes. We bought some hangers and all this shit from Target so she can get her stuff off the ground, threw away all the stuff. That's great, cool. What happens when you actually open the fucking closet door? There's all my old clothes hanging up that I just have this sentimental value that I can't throw away yet. It's like, well, nobody's gonna wear this large Mark Echo shirt that's thick as fuck. Like, it's just like, and besides, if I want to wear it, I have to wash it first. So I would say clothes, and then clothes are hard to throw away. But let's say I get something that I use like one time. Now a lot of it's just because I'm lazy. Like, man, I really want to walk out there and throw all this junk away without actually going through it just yet, because maybe I'll want to keep something. But I've gotten better at some items where it's like, okay, I already understand what I paid for this. I've got its usage. I can't resell it. The likelihood of me reusing this ever is non-existent. I need to get it out of my head that I'm going to reuse it.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. And yeah, I had to practice what I preach. I get on my dad for that. My mom's gotten pretty good at it, but my dad, like, dude, he would hold on to electronic he won at his work before he retired, and then he would try to re-gift it to me, or like, oh, you can have this like 2 or 3 years later. I'm like, this is like a 10 megapixel fucking camera, still in the plastic wrap. This was good 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to pawn this off as it's worth something now. Fuck off. Yeah, clothes, some miscellaneous items. I will say, dude, I can go thrift shopping. There's a lot of shit I just kind of want to buy just to buy it, but then I have to stop myself because I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? I don't even have space for it right now.
Right?
Yeah. I have a yes and, but I want to hear from Dalton first.
My thing is boxes.
Oh.
So like when you buy, you buy like a camera or something, I have a hard time throwing away boxes. Or like, say you buy a new Xbox. I want to keep the box for whatever reason. I'm like, maybe I want to store it later.
I got my box.
Not sell it, but like the Halo thing, if that's in there still or whatever. But yeah, I have a hard time getting rid of boxes.
I mean, fuck, you can look in this closet and you see the thing, like right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's shit in there. Like I don't need.
Like if I put Legos together, I'm like, I don't want to throw it away in the box, because what if I take it apart and put it back in the box or whatever reason, which I probably wouldn't. But
no, I gotta ask this question. I mean, I know we're kind of sidestepping, but just coming to like the organization of things, y'all know I've lived here for like forever and a day. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy this house off my old man, and then just flip it, and that's when I'll actually go buy another house and move. But Bert, when you move from place to place X amount of times, Dalton, whenever you move from place to place X amount of time, like, how does do you guys try to organize things before, and like, oh, it's gonna look nice and neat and blah blah, and then all of a sudden it just looks exactly how it was 8-10 years ago. Like,
right.
like I've tried. I'm try. I fucking try, and I get mad. I'm like, we need to clean this house, and then we clean it, and I'm like, man, let me just throw this here. It's fine. It's no big deal. Like,
Yeah.
but you go to my brother's place. Not that being gay has anything to do with it, but his place is crisp.
Yeah.
Crisp. I mean, what is dust? I don't know what dust is.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not a clean stainless steel top and a bookshelf where he doesn't read the books, but he's probably swiffering all day. Like,
dude, I wouldn't say so much as dust for us, but cat hair.
Dude, the cat hair is pretty bad.
Cat hair everywhere.
Dog hair for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting about that because it's like the last place I lived before this place, I was in like a 10 by 8 room, right? Kind of thing. Like I was really jammed in there when we first started JARdon the Mess. That's where I was recording, right?
Yeah.
And like all my shit was literally in boxes in the closet or like in storage out in the main room. So like my life was very much like, well, I have all this shit, but it's like in boxes. So like whatever, right? Then when I finally moved here and I was able to like spread out, I was like, holy shit, dude, I actually own a lot of stuff, which is cool. But like now I'm like still, I have to break the mindset of where I lived before, which is like, okay, well, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Right. And now I'm like, okay, there's the stuff here, but like I really do need to like keep it clean, right? So it's interesting you say that because there's certain stuff where I think I've said this on the podcast before, but I moved down to LA in 2010 maybe, and from 2010 to now, see, first it was Woodland Hills, then it was North Hollywood, then it was North Hollywood again, then it was North Hollywood again, then it was Van Nuys, then it was now Valley Fitch. So I moved 6 times, right? For 5 of those times, right, I had with me a box, a little bag, probably about like one of those like gallon sized Ziploc bags that you've seen, right? That you have. So really doesn't take up that much space, but is about that filled with school supplies that I had when I was in college for filmmaking. So like when I say filmmaking, I'm talking about like we filmed on actual film. So this is like stuff where it's like scissors to cut film and tape that you would put together to like actually tape the film, and like special pencil markers that you would draw on the film to indicate when you're like what you're going to cut and edit and do. So like I'm talking about like hyper specialized tools, still academics. They're not like thousands of dollars worth, but they're basically tools that you could only use to edit film. When the fuck am I going to use these ever again in my entire life? I'm never going to get my hands on a physical film that I'm going to use this for. But because that hoarder mentality or that like sentimental value, like I transfer this thing, dude, like think about the amount of like time. I moved this thing from Roanoke Park down to LA and then 10 or 5 times around here. Finally, I was like, what the fuck am I carrying? I'm never use this, and just tossed it, right? But the fact that like that thing moved with me so many times, and like whenever I moved somewhere, I immediately put it in a cupboard, right? So it was just literally I moved trash with me 5 times, 6 times, right? And it's gnarly to think about. Like, so now I'm really trying to go through this like organization, clean, like declutter, really try and like keep this place as clean as possible. And I've got my living room kind of taken care of, and now I'm more focusing on you just take it one room at a time, because it's really overwhelming when you think of like everything you own. So my bedroom's really messy, but like I'm hitting these rooms like
in accordance.
Because it's just there's a certain point where I don't want it to seem like it's just unlived in, because there's certain things where like you go to certain people's house, not saying this about Rodney, but like you go to those people who have like super clean, super like crisp places, and you're like, dude, like, do you live here, or like what
It's dude, it's like I swear, when I first went to this place, it was like, this house looks like it's staged to be sold.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
this
yeah,
apartment
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like it's a staged, because it was so nice.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
room
yeah.
was super nice. The only room that wasn't as nice is like maybe his little exercise room. I'm like, oh, there's a dumbbell on the floor. My God. But
I don't think
everything
I'm
else,
that kind of
crisp.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm always disorganized and have a lot of stuff, and like, don't get me wrong, like I like to get things cleaned, but you know, there's gonna be random shit here and there that's misplaced.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for myself is, as long as the downstairs is presentable to an extent, like, because if you have guests over, they're not going to be coming upstairs. They're not going into your bedroom or anything. Like there's most people that I know where, a lot of people that I know actually, like at least when I was younger, their parents had the downstairs nice and clean.
Yep.
Kind of walk past the parents' room and say, it's a little messy.
Yeah.
Why? Because I wake up and sleep here, and this is where I do business. Like I don't give a shit. Like, but having a pet, that's one thing. Having a pet, I've got like cat toys and boxes, just scratch post everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm constantly like feeding them fucking catnip.
Yep.
Yeah, like, so
my cat likes to knock everything over.
Yeah.
My parents came down on Wednesday. Well, I guess on Wednesday. Yeah, when I was at work. So she's like, hey, here's the key to get into my house, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, just relax, don't do anything. But of course, my mom went into like, I can't just do nothing. I gotta clean.
Yeah.
So she was cleaning out the living room, and she's like, I found this, and it was just like a pile of just loose socks. Like, I'm talking about a pile of them. And she's like, they're all out here in the living room. And I just kind of look at it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Who's separating those?
And I know, because I was literally being like, where are all my socks going? Like, I'm missing them all. And it's just me realizing that like what must be happening is like my dog is like pulling them out of like the sock drawer and just like playing with them out in the living room, because they probably smell like me. In my head, I was just like, I just started laughing. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, why are you doing this? But sure, I don't care. So like now I'm just now mindful of like trying to find these socks out there when he takes them. But like, sorry, this is the point that you were saying, Randy, is like, I guess this is the spirit of it is, I want to keep my place clean. I want to keep it presentable, because I think when you do keep your environment organized, if the environment around you is organized, you become more organized, right? You become a product of your environment. So like, I know that when it gets really cluttered or messy, I just get lazy. Like the kitchen, if I'm not staying up to date, like making sure my dishes are clean, then I start to eat like shit, because I'm like, oh, all right, well, whatever. I got all my blah, blah. So I'm trying to keep this place as clean, as organized as possible, while still acknowledging that I live here. And so like for me, it's just like the pet stuff. I'm like, yeah, but I have a little creature that lives inside my house. Like, I have to be okay with there being like a mess. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Like when I was at Walgreens, I mean, I could do it now. It's just I don't see the financially, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, we had a house cleaner come by like fucking once every 3 weeks.
Sure.
And it was cool. I mean, she kind of started cleaning random shit that she didn't need to, but I mean, it's like, hey, do the bathrooms, do this. They'd be there for like 3 or 4 hours. I'm like minimum, I'll give you like $100. I don't give a shit, or $120. And it just felt like, and I mean, it probably took like a solid week and a half for it to kind of like get a little bit messy again, and she would just come back through. But that was nice, I will say. But because, yeah, I'm not above getting down and scrubbing my own fucking toilet. I did that last week because I just was in a mood.
Yeah.
But they did make things seem more presentable. And then the second I was gone from Walgreens, I was like, well, I'm not calling her.
Yeah.
Like, why? I can do this myself. No, but there's something a little different when they. Yeah. Anywho, Want to hear something wild about Walgreens? So I get a call from my old pharmacist. She gives me a buzz, and I was on the other line, or I was playing PUBG or something, and I was like, okay, so I called back, and she just wanted to check in, and she was checking in. I'm like, okay, it's probably a shit show at the store.
Yeah,
I can only imagine. So I'm like, hey, like, how's it going? So we're talking a bit. So before I left, the other manager, uh, he left for Burlington Code Factory.
Mm.
Like that was presumed. Like he left, which I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't. I don't think he like lied to me or anything, because I literally filled out his reference form for Burlington.
Yeah.
But he always had like this weird relationship with one of the pharmacists, and it was kind of borderline just odd,
Inappropriate.
in my eyes, yeah. But at this point in the game, like I don't know, because he's supposed to be my equal. I'm putting air quotes up.
Sure.
When I did 80% of the work.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm talking to him or her, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, well, he's nothing gets done because he's there." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So the second they had to forcefully, or my DM had to forcefully fire me, they had to get somebody to come in and put a patch on the store. Essentially, that's how I view it. Because I bet whoever was going to take over the store, I set them up for fucking success. Like that's just how I view it. I'm like,
sure, yeah.
Like I don't really know how I did like a year's worth of work in 7 months. I mean, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden, I it made sense because it was like probably got the phone call like, hey, can you come back? We'll pay you a little bit more or put you on salary. Probably ran back to the store. Because of this odd relationship with this other woman, and who is, whether it's platonic or not, she has a significant other and has like a house or whatever. So but they always pull like they're always doing remedial bullshit tasks. Like that's what it is. Not saying the girl wasn't doing a lot in the pharmacy, but when they were together, nothing got done. So I'm like, so how's the warehouse? Can you guys walk back there? He's like, no, we can't walk back there anymore. I'm like, oh, why is that? Oh, well, everything's packed up. Oh, how long did that take? About a week? Yeah. Oh, okay. Week after I left. Okay. Well, like the pharmacy's good. Well, yeah, I'm sure the pharmacy's okay. Yeah, I mean, there was a new regiment going in, and you're a very strong-hearted woman, and I know you get it fucked done. So the pharmacy's doing better. You know, we all miss you. I'm like, yeah, I know. But how's the other portion? Oh, it's a shit show. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was odd that I didn't get jealous. I didn't get mad. I was just like, oh, fuck, like serves them right.
Yeah.
And she told me, he's like, yeah, I talked to the DM. He's got to hire another manager because obviously shit didn't get done. I'm like, oh, really? So it needs two of you now. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Like, so and technically, I could get a call because my 3 months are up, and she, and I'm still in air quotes, I highly doubt it. And then she's like, would you come back? I'm like, I couldn't come back and do all the work again next to this guy. Like I could do all the work, I don't give a problem, but I can't do it with some other guy that's getting paid a little less than me and doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I just want to say like that little tidbit, like they had to basically get a patch. They went to shit show, and that girl got transferred to another store because someone phoned in corporate and was like, "There's an inappropriate relationship." And you know the wild thing is, before I left, the day I got let go, I was like, "Hey, just let you guys know, I believe that there's. How would you have handled this inappropriate relationship?" Because I had one employee that was kind of worried for a bit, and it was due to him. And I felt it ate me up for like a week and a half. Like, man, I wish I could. It's like, well, you have to do the investigation. You have to let corporate, you have to tell corporate and blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so basically you guys just sit by and wait till it happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a problem till it's a problem.
Not a problem till it's a problem. And then it was a problem. So, but that was on my mind for like a week and a half. And I was like, man, I do think of things I would have done differently. But ultimately, yeah, very satisfied with the outcome at this point. Shit show.
Yeah.
But it does go to show that those places are they need to be a well-oiled machine, and if they don't believe in the leader,
yep,
like nothing's getting done.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's like, I couldn't imagine what would happen. Like I've never seen it in like a supermarket. I mean, you see it in like a Rite Aid, a CVS, a Walgreens, whatever. But I couldn't imagine if like the manager of Safeway was like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like I couldn't.
Well, I mean,
couldn't see it.
A place like that, the manager sets the pace for everybody else.
Yeah.
Like if you have a lazy manager who's just kind of like, okay, whatever, then eventually all of your people are going to be like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you get somebody that came in like you, and then you get somebody that came in like you, who was like, tighten everything up, and then people are gonna start complaining because oh, he's a hard ass, he's tight. No, he's just actually making you work and earn your money.
Yeah, I know. It's not. I don't want to. I'm not putting down the working man or the individual that doesn't want more. But it's like that. Always that little thing is you walk into a place and you can talk to the managers about it. I want more money. I'm a blah blah blah. I'm like, what are you doing to earn more money? Like, what are you doing to get a promotion?
Yep.
Like, I know that shit's limited, but man, like I've never worked at it. Yeah.
I think that's the working mentality now. Everybody wants to get paid more, but nobody actually wants to put in the work to earn it.
Dude, so it was interesting because in this process, so I took the police technician exam, which is basically a dispatch job. Not dispatch, but similar. But in doing so, I applied to this car dealership. I'm like, if this guy doesn't fucking call me, I'll be blown away. I get a call the next day.
Sure, yeah.
Obviously, like just whatever, pat myself like obviously. And this is like this used car dealership, and I was like, okay, the money's like whatever. So I go interview for like an hour and a half with this guy. Just kind of like reminds me very much of car dealership, but also like my old job at 360. Like it's my way. This is how things are done. And I was like, okay. And I'm entertaining it, but this guy's all over the place. And this is all within like 2 weeks. And then, I think about it, I call him back, hey, dude, I'm interested. I mentioned I had DUIs. You guys check your insurance, see if you get whatever. I'm like, okay. So I go in, drop off my driver's license so they can run the insurance. And then he was like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a call on Monday. I don't get a call on Monday, so I call him on Tuesday. Oh, I thought you were coming in. I'm like, okay, you what? Like, I know you got a lot going on. Like, this guy's like really all over the place. Ugh. And then so I'm like, hey, where is he? Oh, I can meet you at I'm buying some cars right now. I can meet you at Freeman Lexus. I'm like, sure, I'll be there by 4:00. I show up at 4:00. I call him, like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm like down the street. I was gonna go to my place. I'm like, you literally just told me to fucking meet you here. I am going out of my way now to meet you, and you can't remember? Annoying. And then,
dude, that's indicative of.
And by the way, this guy didn't read my resume. All he saw was like my interest. Oh, so you like lifting and fitness. Okay, you actually read my fucking resume?
Yeah.
I am over experienced for this position.
Correct.
But it pays a good amount if you can sell. Sure. And then so I'm like, okay, this is odd as fuck. He's like, oh, there's actually a couple other candidates. So one kid, he was in the Marines, and if you can get past the Marines, that means you're like really like a tough son of a bitch and people that own their own business. I'm like, and I told and in my head, and not to take a knock at the Marines or anything, like I don't give a fuck who is in the Marines. I've got the experience, and I don't give a shit about some fucking 22-year-old kid that doesn't have experience for shit. Like, I'm like, whatever, but I'm not going to be that guy, and I'm not going to take knocks or shots at someone else's whatever.
Sure.
So I'm like, how about
But that also means that, like, did you read my resume? Because I own my own business.
Yeah. So, and which he's like, oh, I know you own your business. Now I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, how about this? I'm off tomorrow. Let me come in tomorrow and let me just feel it out. Where I go and talk to like the other guy who's like working the desk. He's like basically the supervisor. He's been there for like 8 years. So I'm hanging out there for like an hour and a half, I shadow him on a fucking
time.
deal. Like, it's time. And I talk to him, oh, well, I mean, there's really 3 candidates. So like some other kid or some other dealership, he's calling me all the time. And, the Marine hitting with you. I'm like, where is the actual inclination to give me a commitment to me now?
Yeah.
I am like getting steadily fucking annoyed.
Yep.
Like steadily annoyed at this. And I'm like, I'll come back tomorrow, but this is time that I'm not getting paid, that I'm willfully coming here to learn your way of things. These other motherfuckers aren't doing it. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Like some other, like whatever about
they're calling to take, but like you're literally taking
I'm literally fucking there, and I know this game.
Yep.
That was the thing. I know the game. I just didn't know the system.
Sure. Yeah,
dude. So and then he made a fucking comment, and that kind of like, it didn't like rubbed me the wrong way, but he was like, oh yeah, and then if you like, it was like basic selling 101. I'm like, motherfucker, like you were just like pissing all over my experience right now. This is insane. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like what one of the customers, one of the guys that were in there, because they were like old school guys, like said some homophobic remark, and I was like, oh my god, dude, if I wasn't like here at this time, I'd probably get in your face right now. So,
yeah.
But like, what am I gonna do? Like,
what
am I gonna do? And then it's like, do I really want to work at a place like this?
Right.
Like, keep it in your own, whatever. And then that night I get the email from the sheriff's department. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Okay. And then the next day I found out I passed the test. So I was like, dude, like, but that whole experience was wild to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, first you give me this trial period of 2 weeks. I come in, do my shit. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, there's 2 guys. Now there's 3 guys. Now we don't know. And I'm like, are you just afraid that I'm actually going to sell and you're going to have to fucking pay me? Like, or you're looking for some fucking pushover that you can not, like, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was going to give him the respect of calling him, like, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. Just withdraw my application. Because I said I was going to come in the next day, but I'm like, fuck it, dude. like this guy ain't giving me the time. And honestly, I should have known when he said meet me at 4 and wasn't there. Like, oh, I'll turn around real quick. I'm like, what is this?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's just disorganization on a level where you're like, you don't want to work for that guy.
Yeah,
and very unprofessional too. I mean, if he owns a business and he's trying to hire people, that doesn't make him look very good.
And his whole thing is like, I get he's a guy that he's all about his son. He's like, oh, my son's like a professional cyclist and all this stuff. And he mainly lives in I'm like, I don't care. I get it. You're proud of your kid, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
I really don't give a shit about your son. Because your son is right fucking here. He's not living. Look like he lives in Italy right now, dude. He's right here working on car. Like, I don't know where the bullshit is, but I'll tell you right now, the kid's not worth $1 million. Like maybe he is. I don't know. But I'm telling you, from my point of view, from everything, like, no. Now, self-made guy that has a lot of money and inherited a lot from his old man or whatever, like, and all this other shit. But I was like, dude, you're moving too fast, bro. You got too much shit on your plate. You literally need to hire like he said it multiple times. I need a guy like you to help run the show over here so I can take a step back. Like, yeah, well, you're not giving me any commitments like I can run the show.
Yeah.
And then man, I could rant about that for longer, but next topic or something. But that was my hiring experience with this. Yeah. And that was actually Dalton and Bert. That was Honda's Toys and Trucks. Right there across Freeman.
Yeah.
And the thing that actually drew me in is like, yeah, the other guy retired after 35 years. I'm like, okay, so he was making good money for 35 years. Why wouldn't I want to at least give this an ear?
Yeah.
You know, they got decent cars over there too.
I mean, it's the way I was learning on how those individuals buy those inexpensive cars or buy those cars with higher mileage. It's not like similar to how I bought my truck. The reason why I got my truck at a decent rate, but I had to put down X amount because my truck is an '04, but I got 82 grand on the miles. The year of the vehicle is kind of like what was questionable to banks, not the actual truck itself.
Yeah.
But
so
just
weird.
So learning from that one of the guy, because he was cool, but I started to get like that feeling, just his body language of like, man, another, like, we're going through this again, or oh man, this guy might just quit after 2 months because he doesn't know. Like, I don't know. Like I was getting those vibes.
Yeah, well,
I'm
the
sure
thing
he's
is,
gonna go in and out of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it takes a certain individual to work next to a guy like that. That's why I stayed at 360 for like 4.5 years. It takes a certain individual to like. I can tell you right now, the other 3 stores in 360, those guys would have fucking quit way long ago had they actually had to work next to the owner 4 or 5 days out of the week.
Yeah.
I did because I needed money. Like,
yeah.
And yeah. So, well, hopefully something happens with the police force.
Yeah. It seems like it's moving forward, which is great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something. Well, before I say that, Dalton, do you have anything?
Okay. I don't have anything. Shoot, Bert.
Let's talk about one of my favorite topics recently, which is homemade fucking pizza. Randy, I know you've experimented with this.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. Even though I'm sick, I'm still gonna do this pizza this afternoon because I've been looking forward to it. And it's crazy because Randy, you and I were talking about this in the text thread about how part of this, it's a game changer. It's a game changer because frozen pizza just fucking sucks now, and I'm just over it, right? And
expensive.
then it's expensive and it's not worth it. And then anytime I actually order pizza from a place, it always is like lackluster, never hits the way that I would hope it would. So me baking it at my house has just turned into like a game changer where it's a little bit more expensive than frozen pizza, but overall like the experience is just infinitely better, right? But there's experimentation to it, right? So like you start to learn things like, okay, what is like good base? Like what is a good base? Like I know last time I talked about like, hey, you can find like a really good like bread to put it on. You can also find really good dough. What's like the good like solid, level for that. But then it's like pizza sauce. You can buy like this really high expensive premium pizza sauce, but sometimes it's actually like the $2 bottles of marinara, which is like way better, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Experimentation. Like the one I'm going to do today, I bought like premium ingredients. I'm like, okay, this is like a full loaf thing. Here's this really good sauce and this premium pepperoni. And then I made pepperoni chips last night. Not the pizza, just the pepperoni chips. You just put the pepperoni in the oven for a little bit, get them crispy. It's basically eating pepperoni bacon, right? And I tried them and I was like, for this like premium pepperoni that's, been around since 1902, I don't know how I feel about this. It's not as good as some of the lower end pepperoni that I eat. So I'm curious.
Sometimes the cheap shit is just so much better.
It's so much better. Yeah, exactly. So it's
like,
go ahead.
I'm not gonna veer off too much, but it's like hot dogs.
Yes. Okay.
I can't eat anything but bar S, the cheap ass
really
hot dogs. Everything else just doesn't taste as good.
Walk me through the bar S experience for you. Why does it taste so good?
I don't know. It just tastes better. Like as opposed to the ballpark Franks or whatever or something. I don't know. Just the flavor doesn't taste as good. Maybe it's too premium. I don't know. But I prefer the cheap hot dogs. The cheap extra meats all riled into one.
Cheapo. But what are other cheapo things that you're like, yeah, I prefer cheapo over? I know you guys are gonna say your stupid ass fucking Kraft singles cheese, and it makes me sick.
Ooh, yeah, Kraft cheese for sure.
Fuck you guys.
But I do like a good cheese. Can't,
Yeah. But there's
I'm the
also
same.
mid cheese, right?
There's lots of levels of cheese, and I'm not discriminating or putting down any levels of cheese because it all tastes good.
That's true. But there's mid cheese. There's cheese where I'm like, man, like I'm eating this, so it's cheese. So I'm getting like the texture of cheese. But at the same point, I don't have any flavor to the cheese. Like, I don't know.
See, but Kraft's cheese has good flavor to me.
Oh, that is a flavor. I don't know if I constitute it as good. It definitely has a flavor.
Or cheese.
Yeah, or cheese for that matter.
You should try garlic bread pizza.
Walk me through this.
So you just get like a normal garlic bread loaf, or you can make your own garlic bread and you just build it like you would normal. And then it's got that pizza flavor, but also like garlicky, buttery, it's healthy, not. It's really good though. We've done it before.
So
yeah, that was the walkthrough.
So sorry, I was looking at my fantasy and being upset. So the pizza that we made the first time, I basically just let Tanya do it because I was lazy. And I'm like, she's like, what about the sauce? And I just put extra sauce. So she puts like the whole thing on there. It's like overwhelming. It sucks. She doesn't know how to do anything right when it comes to just making homemade pizza. I'll tell you that right now. Like, so I'm like, okay. So the first go around wasn't that great. I ate it because I'm hungry. I'm not gonna let this go to waste. So I was at Rayleigh's, and I think they had, or I was at Rayleigh's or Grocery Outlet, and they had the Pillsbury pizza dough just in the can. I was like, I would not have bought it if it was like $8 or something. I think it was like $4. So like,
sure,
all right, I'll try it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? Because we tried this before and Tony just added flour and ruined it. like to try to like whatever. I'm like, so this time I just was just in depthly reading the instructions. I was like, okay, it's not like a lot of instructions. Let me just read this over a bunch of times.
Yep.
So I asked her to dice up the veggies, and then I'm like, man, I wish we had some mushrooms. I'm like, oh, we got a can of mushrooms in here. Canned vegetables suck, by the way. So they really do. So she's like, I can fix it. I'm like, okay. So she sauteed them in butter to get all like the crap flavor out.
Yeah,
that's some flavor. So I had mushrooms, this and this, and I had the and the pepperoni. So I had to bake the dough. Bake the dough for like 8 minutes. Just get it like soft. I'm like, all right, well, you open up the oven, it lets all the heat out. Let's just go for like 10. And I was arguing with Tanya over this. I'm like, you're fucking high. If you open up the oven, you got to add extra time. You never go by the time on the fucking thing.
Yeah, you got to go.
You're not accounting for that time. Like, it's not like, see, like, I'm not doing this. The pizza will come out better. Trust. And also, I would say she was under the threat that my pizza was going to come out better. Because it was. And so here's the thing. I saw this $1 ragu at Prego, or $1 Prego sauce at Grocery Outlet. It said bold and spicy, guys, my feeling on spicy. So I was like, I don't know. Whatever. So I'll get it. So I got it, smell it. Man, it's not that bad. So open that up. I'm like, it's $1. I mean, it can't be that spicy. That's more money. And I'll probably go back and buy some more. I forgot. Hopefully they have some. So then you bake it. I'm just trying to spread out the pizza dough. And I actually have a pizza roller.
Oh, nice.
A roller there. But the problem is, and I found out, every time I picked it up, it would start to be like, I was like, fuck. And I'm like, and I didn't catch on for like two tries. I was like, fuck, I'm picking it up like this. It's literally sinking in the middle and I'm spanning the sides like this. So I'm like, fuck, okay, how am I gonna do this? So I got the sheet out. I'm like, all right, I just gotta pick it up. I just kind of gotta like hold it like this. I just kind of like it doesn't have to be perfect. Just gotta lay it on there and I'll spread it out as much as I can.
Yeah.
And spread it out for the main thing. Obviously, you saw the picture. Use the sauce, which was good. The thing what really, I didn't add too much sauce. I think I could have added all of it, to be honest with you, because it was a small bottle. I didn't use all of it, added that. But the thing that the kicker for me was, I think, was the green bell peppers. Because the green bell peppers have like such a they're fresh and have that smell and that taste. I just love that. And also, she sauteed fucking mushrooms in butter. So
that butter's just like seeping.
Yeah, and I learned a long time ago, or while making pizzas, just because I have everything out doesn't mean I have to put everything on it. I don't want to overwhelm the pizza in certain areas.
Correct.
So I'm like, fuck. So
amen.
I think we had there's a good amount of chopped onions and bell pepper left. So I'm like, I put that away aside, layer, and I'm like literally with the mushrooms, because they're like, it's all by hand. And then with the pepperoni, I keep forgetting that you sometimes cook them on the side, but I'm just like one by one by one by one by one by one. I just cheap Hormel like pepperonis.
Yeah, that's the best one. That's the best one.
Just cheap Hormel pepperonis. I think it was like $2.
Yeah,
like
just
it's pepperoni. At the end of the day, dude, the oil's doing the job.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Now here's the kicker. I didn't have enough mozzarella. I had mozzarella to cover the pizza in bits, but I opened one bag that we had in the fridge for a minute, and they just had a mold on it. I was like, "Gotta toss that." Yeah. So I had this other bag though. It was probably 70% full, small bag. So Phil, I'm like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the rest of this cheddar that I have, this cheddar bag. It's like not a lot, so I can fill in some spots, kind of like spreading it out. I'm like, okay, so now we're here. Now we're using 2 types of cheese.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to fill in more spots. So then I grabbed like some blended Mexican, and then I'm telling you, I maybe not even like a handful, just like little dabs here. I'm like, you know what? That's too much combination of cheese right now. I'm not gonna do this. So I withdrew that.
Yeah.
Then I throw it in the oven, and then I was letting it cook, but the timer went off a lot. I looked at it, it's not done yet.
It's not done. Yeah, you know when it is.
Because the main thing is I don't want to try to take this pizza off the pan and it just cave in.
Galoops. Yeah.
I was like, fuck. So I'm kind of feeling, no, these are 5 minutes. No, these are 3 minutes. And then when I finally took it out, cut that bitch up nice and crispy, good. Hand it, I bring it over to Tanya and everything. I'm like, how is it? Like, it's decent. That's why I look at it as more like, so how is it? Yeah, it's okay. I'm like, it's pretty good in my opinion. Just like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, like, fuck you. Because because she was all butthurt because I was giving her shit for her pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you need to do it better. I'm like, I will. Man, so from that point on, I think let's say the dough was $4, the sauce was $1, onions or whatever.
Yep.
The cheese, depending, let's just say the cheese was $3.
Yep.
So for like $10, I made my own pizza. You buy everything in bulk. So for $10, I made my own pizza at the house, and it came out amazing.
Yep.
Like, maybe peak $13 because of the pepperoni, but
yeah.
After that, I mean, it was just like it's just hard not to.
Correct.
Like it's just
because it's like even when you get a frozen pizza on sale, right?
Even on sale on the last frozen pizza I ate.
Say again?
I burnt my mouth on the last frozen pizza I ate. So I was like, dude, I was really not having it.
But... Yeah. But even then, it's just like, yes, it's technically cheaper sometimes, depending on what you get and depending on sale. But for that extra whatever, $3 or $4, you can have like an amazing experience as opposed to like one that always, the last 10 times I got frozen pizza, it just left me like not even disappointed, like depressed. I was like, I can't believe I wasted calories and then like just calories and time, right? And lack of taste. It just sucks. Give me 1 second. Dalton, pizza stories? Anything else?
I need to make some pizza. Now you guys got me really hungry to make some pizza.
I mean, you made that fucking that looked like a chicken, like whatever sando you made the other day. That fucking looked really good.
Oh, that was my dad had some bratwurst.
Yeah.
And so I made like a Philly cheesesteak style bratwurst. So I cooked the brats and then I sauteed up some bell peppers and then I built it and then I just broiled it for like 2 minutes with the cheese on top and it was really fucking delicious.
Yeah, man, you
It
gotta make the
was
pizza. You
bomb.
gotta try the pizza though, but definitely you gotta get the right bread. I think the key ingredients are. I mean, you could fuck up with the cheese, I think, but I think the key ingredients are the sauce and whatever bread you use.
Yeah.
That's it. Honestly, man, that Pillsbury shit was. It's easy because nobody just rolls out. If I have to like roll it out myself, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. That's just a lot of effort that I don't want to put in.
I used to enjoy making pizzas at Coppola. It was pretty fun because we had the fresh dough and you had to, like hand toss it whatever to form it and everything.
Yeah.
That was some pretty good pizza there. The cruise ship had some really good pizza.
I bet. Yeah, you said you ate pizza a lot.
I eat pizza like every day.
Oh my god.
Sorry. The latch to my screen door broke. So we have a little bit of wind right now. So I just kept hearing my screen door just slamming against my neighbor's like wall. And I was like, so I kept hearing this bang, bang. And I was like, dude, I need to fix this before.
Like, my bad.
Yeah.
Hope you guys aren't asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, what I missed.
Now I'm
What's the
hungry for
topic?
pizza.
Dude, I'm so ready. I'm gonna make this thing right after this. I don't care how early it is. I eat a huge plate of eggs for breakfast, so I really should wait a little bit longer. But I'm like, man, I'm so hungry for pizza.
Dude, a while ago I made some omelets for us and I made them so big that we didn't eat eggs for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was just too much egg. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I like making omelets in the morning. You buy some of that like tiny little diced ham.
I eat eggs, bacon, or I eat eggs and hash browns and whatever meat like almost every morning now. Hash browns are so good.
Yeah, there. Now I finally got an air fryer, so I'm gonna like start air frying.
Oh, did you? Have you made anything yet?
I haven't made anything out of it because I got sick, so I had to like not eat oily food.
Yeah.
Which was brutal, right? Because there's positive and negatives of being sick. Positive, I haven't drank for the last couple days, and I'm like, I remind myself, yeah, it actually is good when you don't drink because you feel better and you get more shit done. So that always helps when I get sick. It resets my whole like I don't need to drink for a while clock, which is good. The negative is when I'm sick, right? You're not supposed to eat oily food or like anything that can like inflame your throat. So I have been like drinking tea instead of coffee. It fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And then I can't eat oily foods. So I've just been like trying to eat very like bland, like crackers and bread.
Gotta get that fiber.
Yeah. So today I finally like broke and I had some coffee and it was amazing. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat this pizza. So I have this air fryer that I got that I haven't been able to use anything out of it. So I'm really tempted to try and figure what I can put in there because I hear you guys sing air fryer prices.
Everything in there.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Probably make a pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind did you get? Like the basket ones or the oven style ones?
It's like the basket ones. My mom bought it because I had mentioned it, and I was like, hey, yeah, this might be a Christmas gift idea because I can't think of anything now at this point. I was like, yeah, sure. And of course, it was like, well, I just got you this. I was like, well, the idea was Christmas. So now, whatever.
Like now I have to think of something again.
Yeah.
So, minis it is.
Yeah, yeah. So I gotta test it out. So the Ninja fryer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, there's you can. I cook chicken in it. I haven't cooked steak, but chicken fries.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Speaking about whatever I want, maybe we close out on this one because I can't believe that we're recording this and November is right around the corner. and sooner or later it'll be Christmas or the holidays, and I'll be coming back up for the holidays. And I hope you gentlemen are prepared because we got to play some kill team when we're up there.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Is that a Space Marine?
No, I'm not playing Space Marines because they're good. They're too good. Oops, wrong button. This was fuck you. Sorry, Zoom is being stupid. They're the Imperial Guard guys, but they're like these
nice
squad dudes with like, yeah. I gotta try and paint them before, I guess, over the next month. I'm gonna do this like desert camo, see how it works. But it's the kit that I bought when we all went to
right on.
What's it called?
Fundemonium
for like that quick hangout.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely down. I might have to pick me up another kill team too. Do you know when you're coming down? Or
I don't yet. I don't. I gotta figure that out with work. Work is kind of crazy.
We should try to play some the Lord of the Rings one too.
Yeah.
Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring everything up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well,
now I want pizza.
All this talk about food has made me hungry. So,
right.
You got any closing statements, y'all? Are we good to call this one?
Yeah,
another one.
I've got nothing but good luck.
My fantasy is doing shit. Doing shit.
It's just rough.
Yeah.
Rough game.
Yep.
Well, God, this guy's playing everybody.
Y'all are gonna check your JARdon, the mess fantasy leagues, and I'm gonna go make myself a pizza.
I'm jealous. Think of me when you're eating it.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting,
I don't know what I'm eating today.
I was thinking of just probably do In-N-Out today.
That sounds good too.
Ooh, I had In-N-Out the other day. It was pretty good. I had Taco Bell for the first time like a day or two ago.
But why?
It was
It's like it's hard to. I know I look at Bert right, but it's just hard because it's just everything but In-N-Out is just more expensive.
Yeah.
Like, it's just more expensive, and like Bert was saying, you get that consistency, quality ingredients.
Right.
Need that. All right. Yeah, I got nothing, boys. I got a baseball game at 1.
Nice.
I gotta head out at 12. Out the street, so it's nice.
Nice. Well, until next time, everybody.
JARdon the mess.
JARdon the mess.